Matias, middle, tapped over by Tennessee, but they saw it right there. We will see it go. Nate diving, saved by Matias. Pushed up right side, two hands it over. They saw sprawls over. Forward, left side, Akana off the floor.
Oscar, try move. I got shocked. Thank you guys.
I know that's so recent. You have to come home and stay in your house for 14 days.
I would say like everything happens for a reason. Like for me, the path that I went through obviously wasn't something that I would have imagined myself and myself going through. And I think, but I really do think that going through that path and just all this happening to me, it really helped me to become the person and the player that I am today. So I think I just used it as motivation, and just working hard always was something that happened after that. Yeah, we went to a whole bunch of places. Like we went to Minnesota, and then right after I went to the Texas camp.
Oh.
And then after
University
that,
of Texas.
Yeah. And then after that, then I went to California and I did a couple camps there. So it was just like really hectic.
3 weeks kind of.
Yeah, so I think I was gone for a couple weeks. And
so you and Bray were both at the same thing, same camp?
No, so that's when me and Bray were at the Minnesota tournament, and then I went with my dad to like the Texas camp, to like California camps. And then so I was already like tired going back home, because it's such a long, such a long trip and like so much volleyball. And then, at Kamehameha, our tryout, we have a physical 1.5 run as a tryout. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And so like coming back, like going into freshman year, I wanted to practice and like work on it, and just practice with my sister, who was already on the team as a freshman. So we went to Kahuku High School, and we went to go on our run, and we timed the 1.5, and after the 1.5, like we were good, like we were all good. And then my dad was having practice, so we actually went to the practice, and we were watching for a little bit, and then I just remember like not being able to communicate with her because I was just having like a really hard time. At Kahuku.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we were running on the track.
And who was practicing?
Kahuku. They were having like summer workouts.
So boys basketball team?
Yeah, boys basketball team.
Coaches,
yeah.
coaches.
Yeah.
So you're watching and you don't something.
Yeah, so I was just having a hard time like communicating with my sister Bray, and then I couldn't like understand anything that she was saying, which like what started to worry her. And then I ended up feigning forward, and then I landed on my head, which triggered for me to have a seizure.
Her and Braelyn were outside running, working out, getting ready for tryouts, Kamehameha. And then she was a freshman, so before her freshman year. Then she came, sat down, and I remember them sitting next to me, talking, and then all of a sudden she just fainted and blacked out. So that's when we knew something was wrong, and that's what kind of started everything.
So you talking to her, is she unconscious or like kind of semi-conscious?
She seemed fine, but then I think after a while she just blacked out, and that's when she went into a seizure. Yeah.
So the seizure happened after she hit her head on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's when you got spooked.
Yeah, that's when I was like, whoa, okay, and so.
Well, I was a couple
that's still
seats up. Yeah.
So you land on your head.
Mm-hmm. Which the doctor said that it triggered the tumor. Yeah, which ended up having a seizure.
So it was gonna happen no matter what. At the gym or at home, you were gonna probably.
Yeah, and luckily it happened because we had no idea.
It's crazy. She could have been, the day before, she flew in from Florida on a 9-hour flight. So, or she could have been at the beach or in the pool with seizures. Just that's not where you want to be. So a day earlier she would have been on a long flight. So it's just, you can look back at it now and say, man, it could have been a lot worse. But it happened, and that's when we kind of found out what was going on and what we needed to do.
I just remember waking up in the hospital, and then I was at the Castle Hospital, and then they took me to Queens. Yeah.
And they didn't know exactly what's going on. They're like,
yeah, and then I ended
dehydration was you,
right, yeah, because I ended up fainting. So just yeah, I think like being fatigued like after such a long summer and everything.
And at Queens, they did a CAT scan or nothing?
They had like an MRI.
MRI, okay.
Yeah.
And nothing.
Yeah, and then I remember waking up, and then they told me what was going on. So
they saw from the MRI that there was
that there was a tumor. Yeah.
Your whole life just changed, like from you wake up in the morning until that.
Right. Yeah.
Your
Yeah, it's just you never know what will happen. Yeah.
It must be terrifying in a way.
Oh yeah, it is because we've never had any experiences with this, and this was new to our family. And we're a pretty athletic family, so we knew there's going to be some changes. She would have to take it easy, take it slow, which for Keonilei, that's not in her, vocabulary.
So definitely the first time that it happened, I think when we got the news about like the tumor and everything, I definitely think all of us were just shocked. And we didn't really know how to react to it because this was kind of like the first incident that any of the 4 of us siblings have had, including like surgery. None of us have had surgery. Yeah, none of us had like knee surgery, nothing like that. And Kaylee, when we found out it was a tumor and she had to get brain surgery, all of us were just kind of thrown off. We didn't really know how to. We were just like, oh wow.
So that's when everything started, and we found out what she had and what she needed to do, and we had to have surgery, and then it just, that's when the process kind of built on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not terminal.
Right. Yeah, it was a benign tumor.
So you have to go to a specialist later on.
So I want to say like a couple weeks later, like 2 weeks later, then I ended up removing it, and then
really,
yeah. So 2 weeks later.
How did they do that?
I had a surgery where they just removed the left side tumor because it was somewhere where it was able to be taken out. Yeah, so I had a great doctor. He was able to take it out, and then I was back in school the week after.
What?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, my doctor was even surprised because he was saying that I should like rest. Yeah, totally. But I seemed fine. I was perfectly fine.
He said if you're.
So definitely, I think us just being positive as a family. It wasn't only me. It was definitely like our family just kind of saw life as something so much better, I think. So definitely, we just had to take a different approach on things, just on like focusing on the goods and stuff like that. It was definitely like really something to adjust to because she still has like appointments and all of that stuff. So. Yeah, we got super close through it all. So yeah, exactly a week. I had the surgery on a Friday, and then I was back in school on Friday, and then we just went from there.
So that was, by then it was already late July, early, you guys start school? Early August?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was already going into my freshman volleyball season.
So the stitches, everything healed up already? The staples, whatever.
Well, yeah, I had to wait. Yeah, I had to wait for it.
So from the day you fainted until the first day of Kamehameha practice, how long was that?
Well, so before I actually did my surgery, between the 2 weeks I ended up taking my surgery, I started doing I was playing volleyball and doing tryouts with the volleyball team at Kamehameha. And so since I didn't get to run with everyone and do the physical stuff that everyone was doing just because my doctors were concerned and everything, so one of our tryouts is you get to play in the varsity tournament at our school, and that's a part of the tryout. So Coach Chris also has a huge he was a huge a part of this, and he really helped me get through it also because my mom was already concerned, and she thought that she wanted me to be a manager, as a freshman, because she was concerned. Yeah, so Coach Chris was just saying that no, it's okay. She can try out, she can jump in on the tournament, and she deserves to try out. She's a freshman, just like everyone else, and so that really helped me too, because he was such a inspiration and a motivation to me also, just knowing that I could do it. And it was really important for me because he told my mom that I should be playing in the tournament to try out. And he thought that having a positive thing, because he knows how much volleyball means to me, having a positive thing and going into like a hard thing such as the surgery was important for me, so that when I'm done with the surgery, then I would know that I had something like positive, which was the volleyball tournament the night before the surgery.
How do you explain your superpowers? Because
Superpowers.
most human beings would be like, yeah, I need a month or two.
So after the surgery, obviously, like, it was really hard for me not to play volleyball, because I went from playing volleyball almost every day and then not being able to play at all. So the doctors were saying that it was just up to me, like, when I was ready. But at the same time, like, of course I wanted to get back on the court, but just like my parents reminding me and the doctors reminding me that rest is okay because of like what had happened in the surgery. And so that was really important for me to rest. But yeah, so after a couple weeks and I was ready, and then I ended up having my own tryout with the team. So I got to practice with them, and that was as my tryout.
And they're pretty much normal.
Yeah.
Nobody knows except the team.
Yeah. So everyone, like, my team was super supportive, because they knew that, like, coming in as a freshman and just worried about that, like, medical and everything. But my team was really supportive about that, and my team knew about it, like, the whole time, so. Even the second time I was with her again, I got called down from a class. Her friends were like, oh, Kayleigh's on the ground, and I was like, are you kidding me? We were on campus, and I had to like sprint out of class, and I was like scared because I don't really know how to react to like anything like that. So it was just really, I'm really grateful for the Kamehameha teachers and stuff, because they were able to help us, like call the ambulance, stuff like that. But yeah.
And then you were in the ambulance with her to the...
No, I didn't go to the ambulance with her, but my grandparents and like my parents met her there, and then I saw her after. Yeah.
Well, as a parent, you want to think, okay, it's over, it's done, we can move on, we learn from it. But the second time, when it's back and we got to do surgery immediately, it's, oh, okay, maybe this is, not over, so we had to cope with that and go through it again. And for her, I know going through it again, doing another surgery, and there's, of course, anytime you do surgery on a brain, that's, there's a lot of other things that comes into play, especially with your brain. So we had to deal with that all over again,
Because I think like the first time when it was finished, we were like, oh wow, like that was such a big shocker and stuff like that. And then the second time it happened, we're like, oh, this can keep going. It can continue at any time. Like, it's not just one and done. It can always, it can happen again. The second time I was actually in school. Yeah, so I was with my friends, and we were getting ready for song contest. Yeah, I want to say it was a week before song contest. So we were like finalizing everything, and we were singing. And then while I was singing, then I started realizing that I was having like a hard time like listening again, and then I knew that it was somewhat like the first thing that happened. So after that happened, then I told my close friend, I told one of my best friends, Noelle Suagarane, she's on my team, and so she helped me through it also. And then she called my sister, she helped me, like stayed with me, made sure that I was okay. And then I ended up going to the hospital, and then they checked it again, and they saw that it was growing again.
The same spot.
Right, same spot. And so they told me the first time that if it were to grow again, then after the second surgery, then I would do 6 weeks of radiation, which I did end up doing. So I ended up doing radiation, and then ever since then, I've just been doing like checkups with them like every 6 months.
So the
MRIs.
radiation came at the beginning of summer.
Right.
So that knocked you out of going to the mainland and playing?
Yeah, so it was during school. It was like towards the ending of school. So right after school, I'd have to go straight to the radiation office, and I would have to go and get that done.
What was that like?
It was hard, like having to do with like schoolwork, like usually, and also having club practice, because we were in club season in the beginning of summer.
You had like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 visits to get radiation. Sometimes it's more.
Yeah.
And then
so I
you had 6 weeks.
No, I never. Yeah, I never did.
And you're practicing for 12.
Yeah.
And you're losing your hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you feel like stopping one or 2 days? Like, you know what? I could take a break. 'Cause I don't feel it.
Throughout the process, like there was good days and there were bad days also, but just the main thing that I had, something that I really learned was having positive people around me, because of course having bad days I would always think like, okay, like maybe I'm not gonna get through it, like maybe I should just stop. But someone that really helped me was my sister Bray. She was always there, and my sister's really good at thinking of the positive and seeing the better things and everything. So just always knowing that I can do something when I set my mind to it. And so just having positive people and surrounding myself with that energy was really nice for me.
Long drive back home, back to
Right.
school,
Going back and forth. Yeah.
Going to the treatment. So you,
Well, I think they're 18 months apart. But they've always been that way. Always been very supportive of each other. Very competitive. At times, of course, they get into it on and off the court, but they've always been kind of a close knit sisters. But man, and especially with this, I think it got stronger, you know, because Braelyn kind of watched her and kind of went through everything and knew what she was going through.
so your hair falls out.
Yeah.
You cut it before that, like some people do? Or you just
No.
let it-
So luckily the surgery was below, so it's like right underneath.
Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't like noticeable because my hair would just be like this, and
So it only
it was
comes
just
out
missing.
in the area
Yeah,
where you
in the
get treated.
area.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was something that made me feel a little bit better because I was worried about
But
losing
you
all
would
my
still
hair.
look cool with the shaved head, school cut, whatever you still look cool because your confidence. Your confidence
yeah.
would still be there.
So that made me feel better just knowing that it was inside the section.
What about your parents? Did you they're worried about you, but did you kind of worry about them because
Yeah, I mean, having at some point realizing that I had to go through all these appointments and go to radiation and just everything, like I was worried about my parents, like just all the medical things I had to go through, and just I know they were worried for me, but just like the payments and everything, like just them having to work all that out, like I was just worried about that. That was going through my head during the time.
Luckily, surgery went great. The doctors performed it awesome, which you always hear of the stories where it didn't go well. You know, like there's other things, you know, could be paralyzed because of this, and there's other things that can come into play. Her senses, when you're dealing with the brain, memory loss, you know, so a second time, you know, so, but after that, you know, once again, you're like, okay, oh.
So towards the ending of the school year, then I would go right after school every day.
wow.
Yeah, and then when it was break, then I would go every morning at 8 o'clock.
And this was right after the second incident, so that's like
Yeah.
May, June,
Yeah.
and then summer comes, still getting treatment,
Yeah,
still
so
practicing.
so actually right after radiation, I want to say the next week, I went up with my sister and Lexus and Paris. We all went up to Arizona to go train. Yeah, to go train with a family friend, Coach V Hiapo. We had to go train with them. And so I was feeling great. Like after the radiation, I was feeling good. I was ready to play again.
You never felt like you lost strength or anything like that, or you just kept pushing?
Some days I would feel that. And I know my doctors told me that I would feel fatigue, like doing radiation and everything, but throughout the whole radiation, I would still go to club practices and I would still play, and my coaches understood
lifting?
too. Yeah, so my coaches understood that if I was feeling like tired or fatigued, then to just sit out. But throughout all of it, I was feeling great and I was really good. Yeah, I mean, having volleyball and being able to work out is very like therapeutic for me because it's something that I love to do and I love the sport, so it would make me happy, like being able to go out and play volleyball. That's for sure.
Which was, for you mostly, which was worse, after the first time or after the second time?
Well, both times. My doctor said I was really good, and they were surprised also. But I would say maybe the first time because I was just worried and everything. After the second time, I knew what was gonna happen, everything from the first time, so I felt a little bit more comfortable. But I would say, yeah, after the first time for sure.
So when they took out the tumor the second time, it was the same size, smaller, bigger?
It was smaller because, like I said, like having the 6 months check-in, I would have MRIs, and so just one MRI, they saw that it was growing, so it was smaller than the first time. So
just to be clear, the chemo came after the second surgery.
Yeah, after the second surgery.
Just to kill out whatever.
Right.
Was still there.
So still to this day, after like every 6 months, I still go and I still go and get my MRIs.
So are there days when you just completely don't even remember that it happened?
Actually, yeah. Like some days some days my parents will bring it up or something and just talk about how crazy it was, and I'll just like totally forget. I'll be like, oh, that's right. Like because I don't talk about it as much, sometimes I do forget about it, and I just think of it as like something normal, even though I know it may be like a big deal, but. Yeah.
So now you're graduating. You're done.
Yeah.
And tomorrow?
Tomorrow's my day that I leave for Nebraska.
You leave in the morning, you leave at night?
I'm leaving at night. And I should get in Nebraska Monday morning.
So it's a red eye kind of.
Right.
Direct, or is it, you gotta stop?
No, I have a couple stops, on the way. I think I have like 2 layovers just to get to Nebraska.
Folks are going with you?
No, it's just me. Because of the coronavirus thing going around, the pandemic.
If they come back, you would have to.
Yeah, they would have to do quarantine. And they can't move me in because of the university. They want to make sure that everything's okay, so yeah.
You have your mask, you have your sanitizer.
Yeah. Yes, I'm ready to go.
Can you, I don't even know. You're allowed 3 ounces of whatever on the plane, I guess. Would they make an allowance for sanitizer? I'll be
Yeah.
I'd be kind of
I will have my hand sanitizer with me for sure.
You can have an oxygen tank. So you,
just to be safe.
It's funny, but it is scary as a parent.
Yeah, it is. Right. Yeah.
Is this your first time completely traveling alone?
No, I've traveled places on my own. I've gone to Florida for a tournament on my own, and.
But that was with your team, though, right?
No, I went on my own one time.
What?
Yeah. No, yeah. So I'm used to it. I should be fine. Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna bring? What's the top 3 things you're bringing with you that you have to have?
Top 3 things. For sure, my headband. I have to bring my headband. Yeah.
You bring them
so I have to bring some of them. Some of them are coming with me. I know my mask for sure. That's something that I have to bring. Something else I have to bring. I can't think of something else I need to bring. Definitely my phone.
Yeah, your phone.
Yeah, of course.
Are you bringing any kind of snacks or?
Oh, yes, I am. Me and my mom, we went shopping the other day to go get my snacks. I think mainly for me, like being a senior and me leaving, I think just giving out this story was important for me. So that was just my main idea of putting it out there, because there's a lot of people out there that don't know my story, and I think just me leaving and just giving people hope that that just setting your dreams and just setting your goals to something will always happen if you work hard. I would say like everything happens for a reason. Like for me, the path that I went through obviously wasn't something that I would have imagined myself and myself going through. And I really do think that going through that path and just all this happening to me, it really helped me to become the person and the player that I am today. So I think I just used it as motivation, and just working hard always was something that happened after that. Yeah, so just the way that my coaches talk to me about how the program is, and just like knowing how the program is just from watching for so many years. I do feel like when I do get there, I know they have a lot of supporters there and a lot of fans there that'll help me feel comfortable being there, and I have heard that it is like Hawaii, so I'm excited. I'm super excited.
And then now she just got her brain scans and stuff again, and it's like clear, so we're so grateful. It's just a really good thing, like it's a really good feeling to know that there's nothing in there, hasn't been in there for a while. We're just really grateful that how strong she is now. Definitely there was conversations about us and about like her not playing, anymore, but I think she just really defied like all the odds. So even when we went to Wisconsin, we were playing Nebraska. So much UH fans. I was like, I love this. They're so cute. We love our fans.
So the day's gonna come when Hawaii plays Nebraska.
Yeah.
She'll be back there digging, and you'll be over there like, I know.
They'll be hitting.
I mean, is that gonna feel good, weird, mix of emotions?
Honestly, Kayla and I are super competitive, like against each other or even like with each other against anyone else. So I think it's just gonna be, for sure, it's gonna be like, oh, that's my sister, but we're gonna, one of us are gonna want to win. Like, both of us are gonna want to win. So for sure, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, but you guys will be like,
we'll be fine.
We've done this before practice.
Yeah. We'll be fine after, but
I know which.
it'll take a little time.
I know which side she's better at digging at, so I'm gonna kind of go this way. And...
We've said that, but it's just we flip a switch when we start playing against each other. So yeah.
Well, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Especially being a great big sister.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love my sister.
Shows or movies that you've been watching, that you have watched that you really like during the lockdown?
TV show. I have been watching Chicago PD.
Okay.
It's about like crimes and everything.
A lot of strong female detectives,
Right.
police officers.
Yeah. Also Law and Order. That's something.
Which
that's
one?
another TV show.
The original or?
Yeah, the original.
Really?
Yeah, so I watch it when it plays on Spectrum, or even sometimes I'll like watch it on my laptop. Yeah.
Okay. And what's
Oh, you know the
what's
intro.
A movie or show, YouTube, whatever?
Favorite movie? I watched, what is it called? Suicide Squad. That's my favorite movie.
Is that the one where, like the...
With Will Smith, yeah.
Oh. What's the ending of that movie?
The ending?
Spoil it for people who don't know.
No, I'm not gonna spoil it for people.
No?
No, it's a good ending though.
What year is that from?
I want to say it was either from last year
Suicide Squad.
or the year before that, yeah.
I saw the one.
Yeah, actually, I've been cooking a lot because when I go up there, I'll have a kitchen and everything. So I know my mom wanted me.
You guys have a kitchen?
Right? Yeah.
It's an apartment then?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's like a dorm suite kind of.
At UH, man, they never give freshmen apartments.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Nebraska
So
treats
I'm
you guys-
excited about that.
So, what's the number one thing you can cook? Like, you really want to cook when you get there?
My mom, something that was fun making was lasagna. My mom taught me how to make lasagna, which I love eating. So, yeah, learning how to cook that was really cool.
Is that like some people use cottage cheese?
Yeah, that's what we used to. Yeah.
It's so weird to think about when you're a kid. Like,
Yeah,
wait a minute,
I know.
what? And then it's just cheese.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on everything.
Thank you so
Time.
much.
Hope you enjoyed tonight.
Thank you.
Any shout outs?
Shout outs. I want to shout out my Coach Chris. Like I said, he was a huge inspiration to me and motivation. Without him, I don't think I would have continued to play volleyball in my high school year and play as a freshman on the team. And also just shout out to everyone who supported me throughout this whole process and throughout my volleyball, my medical, and just my school academics, because just the amount of support that I had from my doctors, my teachers, my trainers at school, definitely my family, my parents, just all the supporters that I had was amazing. I wouldn't have been the person that I am today.
Tell Seeley nicer to you after you got sick.
Seeley's always been great to me. Seeley's always been great to me. And I know me and him got really close also, driving down every day to school. So, yeah.
I probably made him grow up a little bit faster.
Yeah, definitely.
Sister guy.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming all this way.
Oh, that's cool. There's no
Right.
Well, baby, we got time, so let's just sit down and just wind down.